George Orwell wrote, or perhaps warned, of a time of totalitarian rule where citizens are property of the state, where their every move is monitored and the news and entertainment all come from one source. Orwell was wrong about two things: the number of sources that produce our quote-unquote truth and the date. It wasn't 1984, but is 2012. The mass media we digest daily is developed and distributed by 26 corporations. That's 26 companies dictating what we receive on the television, radio, in print, and on the internet. Why is this an issue? These 26 companies have control over us as individuals and as a nation. These companies will choose what ads to run and what ads not to run. By controlling advertisements, they control what we buy. By controlling what we buy, they control our economy. Doubt the power of advertisement? Investors don't. For 30 seconds during the 2012 Super Bowl, companies spent $3.5 million per 30 seconds. Chevy aired 7 commercials this year, totaling their time at 4 minutes and 46 seconds, which comes shockingly close to $30 million. The myth of photographic truth addresses photographs and their clear subjectivity, though it masks itself in objectivity by portraying the observational. By choosing what to include and exclude from a picture, we can see the photographer's agenda and motives. The news we watch has been filtered similar to photographic truth, deciding what is or isn't newsworthy while appearing to be strictly objective. The news has the power to glorify unimportant material.
Did Taylor Swift get a boob job?
Dumb down the audience.
Now in a desperate attempt to fill 24 hours of programming, here's some bullshit that happened somewhere today.
Or even scare a nation.
Sitting can be just as bad for you as smoking cigarettes.
The world we see around us, we view through the blinders placed on us by the 26, enforcing daily the way they wish us to see our surroundings and the people therein. If you had any doubt about the power of media or the redundancy of their message, allow us to focus in and remove your blinders while we take a close look at women in television.
Alright, so here's what we know. 26 companies control all the media that we see. Of those 26, 6 of them monopolize the television market. At the heads of those 6 companies are CEOs of a common trait. They're all rich white males at the age of 55. That makes up only about 6% of our population, yet they depict our world. Do you have any common views with a 55 rich white male?
To take a look at the male's view, or rather what media says it should be, we started with testosterone-driven channel Spike and their hit TV show Mansers. Within the opening 30 seconds of the show, a reoccurring theme took center stage. Women were blatantly objectified, not speaking a single line for the first 20 minutes but appearing on screen the majority of that time. The women had all become props and nothing more. When they were referred to, it was by names like sexy babes or hoochies, and depicted in sex-crazed fashion. Surely, this show is just an outlier.
So sick of my friends watching Jersey Shore. So degrading. Did you know, in today's reality TV, 75% of editors, creators, executive producers, and directors are men, casting women to fill specific sculpted roles. These reality TV shows, such as Jersey Shore, 16 and Pregnant, The Real World, Real Housewives of wherever, are insistently portraying women as shallow, superficial binge drinkers, catty, and gold diggers. Splicing together scenes to make it appear as if there is constant drama. Editors of reality television seem to be pushing self-denigration on women, teaching men to disrespect women, and being quite the opposite of a role model for young women and even young men. Why is this okay? Why do people keep watching? Our society has been taught that it is okay. Through being part of our dull daily routine, we have come to accept this as truth, because we are exposed, no, overexposed, to the sickening ways women are portrayed on reality TV.
You have been identified. Burke demonstrated that through identification, the phenomenon of how when similar groups of people get together, like Democrats and Republicans, for example, the members of that group will have similar thoughts and shared experience, and their persuasion can be obtained more easily by identifying with various strong common themes amongst the group. If you are a regular watcher to any of today's modern TV, even if you avoid the commercials and I watch Hulu, if you are participating in any television, then you are actually, consciously or subconsciously, in many cases, identifying yourself with the degradation of women. I'll give you an example of what I mean. This April, Fox TV celebrated its 25th anniversary in prime television. One of its most successful shows 25 years ago was Married with Children. This show became a big hit from in between the ages of 18 and 38. It ran for years. Degrading humor, especially with a slant towards women for laughs, was the main goal of the show. The main principle of the show, his name, Al Bundy. His main principle in life was to see Hooters. And the only way he valued women was to see them without their clothes on a dirty magazine. And after 25 years in business, Fox has little changed its actual method for using women as a battering ram against equality among genders. So let's fast forward to 2012, where Fox is preparing to say goodbye to one of its best past hit series, House. It does not take long to see that Fox only renamed the show and the situations, but not the desire to act as a positive force for women. This season, the main character actually had auditions for prostitutes in his office. Sounds a lot like Al Bundy, except in 2012, we've modernized it to make the man even better. Because before, Al Bundy was a depressed salesman who couldn't make a buck. It had almost gave him an excuse to degrade women in a humiliating way. But today, Gregory House is a successful doctor who makes millions of dollars, and he gets the excuse to degrade women because he's a success. Now that's progress. So, the main point is, how does this involve you? Well, Burke demonstrated that true rhetoric is not a given speech. It is actually acquired over time. That rhetoric is actually a collection of our daily lives and is the acceptance that we take in of symbols and words, and that slowly we accept things, whether they are true or whether they are not true, because we just feel them to be true. The average age of this class is what? Look around you. What, 24? Most of you were raised by the people watching Married with Children. In fact, your impressionable minds might have been taking it in as you were learning how to walk. How does this affect you? This has been part of your daily life for your entire life. Have you been aware of it? Have you known it? The common argument is that these shows are actually funny, hence the viewership. Well, rhetoric of the image has actually taught us. Rhetoric of the image has taught us that the viewer is oftentimes not laughing at funny writing, but the viewer is looking at the image of a woman and laughing because the words are used to place her beneath the male in the importance of relevance to society. After a lifetime of society's acceptance towards the devaluing of women, it becomes routine in our individual lives. So you, are not as sharp to true assaults on the importance of another human being's dignity or feelings, or how important it is that the other human being feels about themselves.
Did you know that 53% of 13-year-olds are unhappy with their bodies? And that number goes up even higher to 78% by the age of 17. 65% of women have eating disorders, and advertisers spend $263 billion annually. 70% of countries have less GDP than that on ads. These ads are usually photoshopped and cause men and women to judge each other much more harshly. Women are never seen as the protagonists and are usually just looking for a husband. They look for a knight to come in and rescue us. Those who are portrayed as self-sufficient are usually seen as bitchy and the boss that has given up on love and family just to get where she is. What happened to those 1940s movie women with complex characters instead of these one-dimensional characters of today?
The problem we've addressed today is just one of many due to the suppressed number of sources in our mass media today. So how do we combat this situation? Do we turn a blind eye to the newspaper, tune out of the radio, and ignore what's on TV? No. We just use the same device that they've used on us to coax us to buy their products, persuade us to believe their views, and to sympathize with their opinion. We use the dull and daily routine where we constantly remind ourselves that when it comes to mass media, we cannot believe everything we hear, and we must criticize everything we see. This has been an Atmosphere for Change production.